So now we'll start the second elements, that is how. So by making question how, what we can understand. How? So when you're making how, in the ancient time, the peoples used different type of proof. I mean, written script, something. What that is? We can say manuscript, inscriptions, isn't it? So like that. So I'm reading this paragraph. Listen carefully. Then after briefly we can discuss. There are several ways to finding out about the past. One is to search for and read books that were written long ago. These are called manuscripts because they were written by hand. This comes from Latin word manu means hand. So man hand written books, that is manuscript. Manu means hand. So these were usually written on palm leaf or on the special prepared bark of a tree known as beech, which grow in Himalaya. Over the years, many manuscripts were written away by insects. Some were destroyed, but many have survived. Often preserved temples, monasteries, these books dealt with all kinds of subjects, religious, belief and practice. The lives of kings, medicines and science besides. There were epics, poems, play, many of these were written in Sanskrit. Other were in Prakrit language. Prakrit language means what? Generally, that was a common language in ancient people. Sanskrit is the very famous, means very official language, right? But Sanskrit language everybody know, but Prakriti language, though it is a common language among the people, that's why all the peoples can understand by the Prakriti language. So let us see this first. A language used by the ordinary peoples. Okay, which one? Prakriti. Or and the Tamil. We can also study inscription. These are written on relatively hard surface such as stone or metal. Sometimes kings got their order inscribed so that people could see, read and obey them. There are other kinds of inscription as well, where men and women, including kings and queens, recorded what they did. For example, king often kept record of victories in battle. So can you think the advantage of written on hard surface? Hmm? And what could have the differences? So definitely it will be good advantage is there. So there were many other things that were made and used in the past. Those who study the object called archaeologists. They study the remaining remains of buildings made of stones and bricks, painting and sculptures. They also explore and excavate deep under the surface of the earth to find tools, weapons, pots, pans, ornaments, and coins. Some of the objects may be made of stones, other of bones, baked clay, or metals. Objects that are made of hard, imperishable substances used in survival for a long time. So this all big paragraphs we are going to learn in shortcut way and properly. Okay. So my question. So in this way, the ancient peoples, how we came to know about them by the inscription, manuscripts, and different type of things or tools which is made and used before the used before peoples. Are you getting my point? So in this way, we came to know about them. So in this way, first we need the what manuscript. Manuscript. Manuscript means what? It is the handwritten books. What do you call? It is the handwritten books. At the time they used to write palm trees or beech trees, which is available in the Himalayas. In these leaves, they used to write different things, what happened among their lives and how they're living and what their living style, living structure, each and everything, what was happens in the ancient times. These all are they used to write in a on a palm tree, palm leaves or any beech leaves. So in this way, they are writing and keeping them sacred. That we got and we came to know by that what manuscript. So manuscript generally what will come? Generally, where they're writing on palm leaves. But what language they're writing? They're writing in Sanskrit language. Who's writing? Sanskrit. But maximum all the peoples can understand, that is Prakrit language. Prakrit language or Tamil language. Prakrit language or Tamil language means this is the ordinary language. Means all the ordinary people can understand easily and properly. That is Prakriti or Tamil language. In this way, all the peoples can understand each and everything what the regions. And this language mostly used among the ordinary people. That is Prakriti language. So keep in mind, it may come in bit questions. Each and everything which bits very important. It may be helpful in your future for the different type of competitive examination. These are more helpful to you. So keep in mind, and what I'm telling, just keep in mind. Then I will go for the inscriptions. What is inscription? Inscription generally which is written on hard surface. Why? Because either in ancient times the kings, queens means whenever they are going to pass any rules or regulations to the peoples, so at the time they used to write on stone or some pillar, some hard surfaces. On that place they used to write that all the peoples must look and must know the rules and regulations and they must follow the rules. In this way, the each and everything rules and regulation whatever may be they used to write on hard stones. So that is called inscriptions. Understand? I hope you understand properly. So whenever you're getting any doubt, definitely may ask to me. Definitely I will clarify your doubt. Then after, so in the inscriptions, they will use some will use letters and they use to some symbols, different type of symbols. I think so. These are by the letters and by the symbols they can understand that what is written and which purpose it has written. So each and everything it has visible very clearly. So then after we are going to read some. So these are how we'll get by archaeologists. Those who are digging the soils and finding out different type of weapons, tools, each and everything. That we call what? Things. That is called archaeologists. So the archaeologists, what they're doing, different type of things, as which is matched and used by the ancient peoples. And again, once again, those were recovering, that is, they are called archaeologists. The archaeologist peoples, what they're doing, they're all the things that they're removing and what the people are used, each and everything they are removing and showing. By that, we came to understand that how the peoples were living, what they're using, and what their living standard is, and everything we came to know very properly. So in this way, we came to know about the kings and we came to know about the queens, each and everything we know properly and clearly. Then after we go for another things. See, the things is So the peoples, those who are living there, so they use different type of things, in their lives, which is nowadays also. That is, we can means we are keeping so different type museums, each and everything. If you visit any famous museum in India, definitely we can see it can visible different type of the ancient people, ancient things. Those things are used and made by the ancient peoples. Okay, so listen. Now we're going to read through the articles. Means the next elements. Then after we are going to know how, not. Last thing is when. So when the question will come to you, what the things coming to your mind when the making questions, when entirely the time sense will come to our mind. Understand? Isn't it? So that is very very important. And when. So when you're making the questions, so what? When the verb happens. First question means if you make questions when. So the time duration, exact the time duration will ask to us. Means in ancient history, so different type of event happened. But if you want to know the time, we have to make a question when. When happens. So when the time will come when, at the most common words will come just like AD, BC, BCE, right? And BP. But in the history, these words will come when you make questions when. When the time sense will create, and in the time sense, it will come this type of words. It's AD means what? AD means what? We can say ano, anatomy. What is it? Anatomy. BC means before Christ. Next, BCE means before common era. Era means one period, one term of period. That is called era. So BCE means what you call before common era. Next, BP. BP means what? Before present. Before present. So dear students, just you our introduction. So gradually came to know that all the things are, so no need to worry, don't worry. And one by one, little bit, we are going to learn properly and clear. Are you getting my point? So don't be hesitation, don't be irritation, and don't be confused first. Don't be confused. One by one, just clarify and try to understand. If you not understand, definitely you can contact me. So next, CE means what does CE means what? BCE, CE. So what do you say? Common era. Common era. So in this way, the time sense will create. So before Christ means before the birth of Jesus Christ. So what happened that is called before Christ? Anatomy. So is everything we came to know by the time of the sense. So according to the situation, according to the time, we can mention BC, BCE, BP, CE, AD, etc. So let me see the let me read first what happened, where happens. So little bit we are going to discuss now. So, did you notice the title of the books are past? We have the used word past. In plural, the attention to fact that the past was different from different group of people. For example, the lives of hundred or of farmers were different from those of kings and queens. The lives of merchants were different from those craft persons, and so on. Also, as the true, even today, people different practice and customs in different parts of our country. For example, today, most people living in Andaman Island get their own food by fishing, hunting, and collection of forest produce. By contrast, most people living in cities depending on other and supply of food. Difference such as the exist in the past as well. Besides, there is another king of difference. We know that a great deal about the kings and battles. They fought because they kept record of their victory. Generally, ordinary people such as hunters, fishing for gatherer, farmers, or hiders didn't keep record of what they did, while archaeologists help us to find out about their lives, then is much that remains unknown. What do dates means? If somebody asks you dates, you will probably mention the day, months, years, 2000s, and something. These years are count from the date generally assigned to the birth of Jesus Christ. The founder of Christianity, so 2000 means 2000 years after the birth of Christ. All backwards and usually have the latest BC, means before Christ, added on. In these books, we will refer to date going back from the present using 2000 as a starting point. So we have all discussed, and I have discussed that how the making means a different way. I have told you by the manuscript inscription, by the different things, and by the using of the archaeologists also they used to do. Why? Because the kings, queens, these famous persons, anybody can write about them. But those were people, common people, those who are living in the common way, who will write about them? Nobody will write. But our archaeologists helped to know the different type of things, different type of information by the by use and made of the goods. That goods they find out on the soil, dig the soil, and they finding out and they introduce to us. Who? The archaeologist. That's the archaeologist helped a lot to know the common peoples of ancient India. In this way, you have to know. So the students, this lesson is already completed. In the next session, we are going to read the another lessons. I hope you can understand properly, and I try my level best to teach you better. So if you have any doubt in any places, definitely you can ask to me and you can consult to me that where is I couldn't understand and this place I couldn't able to understand. So definitely I will help you. So till then, wait for me and bye bye. I will meet you with the next chapter. Okay, bye.